Oh my goodness. I don't know like what the heck just happened. I was getting an echo and so I had to start another live stream. So anyway, if you coming over here, you missed the first half, part one. This is my first time doing this, timeline thing and trying to share my screen. Usually I can very much, like I said before, lean on editing. So I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. So anyway, I just showed that video of man, yeah, I don't want to show it again. Part one, I showed a video of a young lady that was getting flued out, to go see this dude. She got to wherever she went to, got in his car, and the expectation was for him to take her to the mall and, get her some red bottoms. So, he dropped her off and, as soon as he picked her up. But we've been watching the Never Ever Mets, and so it was just making me think of that time when Chris uh was all out of his, all up in his feelings because the lady mentioned a Birkin bag or something. So, he was over here on the Never Ever Mets. So it's an update on, the online dating situation.
Exactly. And yeah, so yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what was your first impression of me when you see me in the house?
So when I first saw you in the house, I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw you in the house, I was confused. I was like, "Oh fuck, she pretty." But I also was kind of upset because I know they was like, excuse me, if you and your partner don't really vibe, you might get kicked out the house for kind of flirting and shit with somebody else.
Right.
So even with me and Alexis had our little up and down moments, and I wanted to kind of sneak and do some shit, I was kind of nervous because I didn't want to get sent home. But when I first saw you, I most definitely was like, damn, she pretty. But right. I just was like, fuck. But like I ain't had nothing against Clay either. Clay was the homie, but when I saw y'all together, I was like, damn, they look like they kind of like the complete opposite type shit. But I wasn't on no hate shit, so I just was like, let me see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I saw you, I was like, damn, that should have been my man.
But that's what I was thinking though. When I saw you, I was like, man, they better be happy you can't speak to nobody else. And I think the eye contact said it all because me and you both was kind of giving each other the googly eyes a little bit. For sure.
Yeah, I was definitely like, damn, like he's fine. Like I wish that was the person I was in the house with. But I know I have to stay away from you because I didn't want to, get nothing started. Are y'all open to a connection? Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Open as the ocean. It just was a natural connection. Exactly. And we just, so yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what was your first impression of me when you see me in the house?
So when I first saw you in the house, I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw you in the house,
so that happened. So Clay and Tati are over here enjoying each other's company. Oh. Yes, we're back, love. I don't know if y'all saw that. Yes. Did y'all see that? Did y'all just see the video of what's this boy? Chris and Tati? Because if not, I'll just show it again. Hell, it's been a hot mess. I might as well go ahead and just, ride with it. Anyway, if y'all didn't see it, then I'll show it again. But we've been watching the Never Ever Mets, and I did not know it was a rule that if you get over there and you find yourself attracted to somebody else's partner, that you're not allowed to follow up on that. Maybe that would make the show more interesting if they would let things happen the way they're supposed to happen instead of interfering in things. How y'all feel about Tati and Chris? I have an opinion, but I'm gonna save it for another day. I think both of them are interested, and it's not nothing I'm making up. They both said they're interested in being other reality shows. I don't know that they need to be on one together, but you can ride this wave as long as you can ride it. They were on the OMFG page, so I guess the people want to know. The people like it. He said he saw her and was like, yeah. He said her and Clay look like the opposite of each other. And I'm like, how? You came here with Lex, and y'all definitely look like the opposite of each other. So I don't know, y'all, but yeah, a rumor has it, not necessarily a rumor, but am I here? How did it go? What is going on? This has just been a mess. Rumor has it, not really a rumor. These two are doing the thing. I don't know, like they're open to doing the thing. Let me put it like that. It's a connection of some sort happening with Tatiana and Chris. This little girl right here, I never talk about her. I never talk about Chloe Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey is over here on a vacation with some young man. And they're like very close to one another. Now, I know that her baby daddy was over here upset because there's two of them. What the heck? Her baby daddy was up here upset because he's crazy. They're fighting. They've got weird young folks stuff going on, and I stay out of it. When I tell you this computer is giving me the fever. I'm sorry, y'all. This is so frustrating. It's doing things I've never even seen before. Okay, let's get the girl back up here. She living her best life. I forget where she went to go film at. Like I said, I don't really keep up. I hear a lot of it, but this is young people nonsense. Her significant other is a popular content creator, but that ain't him. And what I would say is based on the drama that they have had, this is not her posting these pictures. This is the shade room. And there's somewhere where the paparazzi caught them enjoying, living their best life. And when you've been through what she's been through, you might, need a little of your. So I'm not mad at it, but I would prefer maybe she don't post this on your social media. Don't get yourself attached to another man who's really trying to ride on your coattails. I don't know who this guy is with her, Post that. That's a picture of her jumping off the boat. And I feel it, she want to live her life and probably make her baby daddy mad. There has to be a little bit of that in there because her baby daddy has been attached to, I forget her name. Somebody Love. She used to have a little reality show. How long has it been since she's been with that dude? I feel like it's been long enough that they've been separated that she could go ahead and move on and do something else. But I hope she doesn't turn this into a thing where she's super duper attached. Free Diddy. Girl, Sheila, don't come over here with that mess. Now I'm going to talk about Diddy. We do not want to free Diddy. Lord, I take 2 seconds to try to figure out this internet, and here come a troublemaker. What's she over here saying? They're all trying to be actors. Yeah, you're talking about Chris. Chris is looking for his next show. You think Tati will roll over him? I don't know if he's financially the type of man that she, is used to dealing with. You know what I'm saying? She said, what's his name? Clay was not broke. Now I heard her say that somewhere on a live. Yes, partner swaps. I'm with you, Elsie. Like not intentionally, but if you get in a house and maybe you see something that you wasn't, how much more interesting would it have been if they were, we saw the little tension in the house between Tatiana and Chris. Now they want to tell us about it over here, on FaceTime and stuff. Tati wanted compliments. She said her love language is words of affirmation, so probably. Somebody trying to get in the way of my greatness, child. I'm not about to do it. I'm not a quitter. I'm going to keep going. What y'all saying? Chris is a terrible actress or actor. He's terrible either way. Elle said you got him in the closet? Oh my gosh. Yes, I definitely think that would have been very interesting to see how that would have played out with, the interest. Because, well, what's the name? Alicia was interested in Brandon, and then Brandon was over here. I saw Jared's interview. I can't remember her name, but Jared did an interview, and I'll put the link in the description box because, I was team Jared the whole time. I know y'all think he's terrible. But he came over there and played in in Charlie's face the same way Charlie was playing in his face. So, yeah. And Halle Bailey, like I said, I don't really get into a whole lot of discussion about Halle Bailey. She stays in the news. I know she's the Little Mermaid, and I don't really like to fault young girls for making bad man choices because, everybody got a story to tell, I'm sure, when it comes to that. But I saw this and I was like, good girl, go ahead and do your thing, but don't let this man be the next one that's like crashing out on the internet. I don't think you should post him. I don't think you should answer any questions about who he is. I think you should just let that go, let that ride, and enjoy yourself over there in, those lovely waters. This lady was bringing up Sheila, bringing up Diddy. They was down there squirting baby oil and stuff on each other. I'm not into it. I'm disappointed as far as Diddy is concerned because I feel like now he's gonna be able to get away with anything. He will. I don't know. I just feel like he's gonna be able to get away with anything. I'll put it like that. He still has to serve some time, maybe. I'm looking to see where what his charges were. Out of 5 charges, RICO, not guilty. That was count 1. Count 2, sex trafficking, now not guilty. Count 3, guilty to what do they call it? The Mann Act, which is transporting women for prostitution. So there were 2 women that he was transporting over the state lines and such for prostitution, and that those charges are up to 10 years. So, you know, he could serve. I mean, he could be sentenced with up to 10 years. I don't see that happening. He got a not guilty for a trafficking charge. I'm over the whole Diddy trial, and I'm over the whole these people out here dancing around in the streets talking about girl, you Sheila, talk about free Diddy. Not free Diddy. Diddy is a terrible person that did some terrible things, and I hope he has to pay something, because if he doesn't, he gonna keep doing what he's doing, and that's terrible. I hate it. I hate it so much. You know. Bedtime. I hope so. I hope he gets, we'll see. We'll see. It sounds bad to be saying I hope he gets time, but I hope he gets time. I think he's a horrible, horrible individual. And it's sad that, not guilty. I think, the RICO charge, I think the RICO charge I'm learning has less to do with Diddy and more to do with, how things would be moving forward. But it's just kind of disappointing that because he's going to feel like he's, invincible. He's going to come out and do yeah, probably because he thinks he can get away with whatever. So that's what I'm saying. It's just gonna be Diddy doing what Diddy do. His kids is out there celebrating. It's a criminal enterprise. I think the issue was, though, he was the only one being charged, and had he had other people, I don't know. I'm glad he's at least been outed, and that moving forward, maybe he won't be able to behave the same way as he has in the past. I hope he's in jail long enough to eat up some of that coin. So, there's that. Oh, I've had so much internet issues today. I appreciate y'all still sticking with me. I'm going to get this thing together. I'm learning. So, give me a little bit of grace. But another thing I want to just talk about before we leave, these daggone housewives. So, what's the name? What's this lady's name? Not Portia. Angela. I got all kinds of things going on over here. I don't know what's going on. This is so frustrating. So Angela Bassett and Charles Oakley were over here on the Housewives, and what's her name? Phaedra was, well, allegedly Phaedra was paying some man. Some man showed up and said that Phaedra paid him to say that Charles was cheating on Angela. If you watch the show, you know what's going on. But I found the audio. So here's a conversation with him and her. Oh, hey, what happened? This is a whole hot mess. I ain't gonna lie. Entertain yourselves. Go touch some grass while I figure my life out. Here we go. So this is this guy talking to Angela. It's the guy Marcus that showed up, with the tea.
Nothing at all.
Yeah. Oh.
Did she pay you?
Yes.
Did she pay you? Or is just did she pay you to do it? Or is it just like, I just do this?
Pay me? No, she ain't pay me.
Oh, that was just messy. Messy.
Angela, if it's one thing I'm gonna lie on this hill and tell you, bitch, you can call me messy because it was a messy gay moment.
Yeah, it was. And
You can clock Angela. If it's not one thing, I'm gonna tell you one thing about me is I'm very honest. Clock me on the messy gay moment because I was like, it was messy. It was so messy. It was so long and messy. And honestly, to be honest, I didn't even think anything was gonna come after it after security kicked me out of the Williams and Sonoma. He say something to you?
No.
I will say this, and this is all I'm gonna say. If cameras were rolling when Phaedra walked up to the event, she walked up to me and kissed me on my cheek and whispered something in my ear. I don't know if they have that on camera, but I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay, and
I will say, unfortunately for us, it was before she was mine. I will say this, and this is all I'm gonna say. If cameras were rolling when Phaedra walked up to the event, she walked up to me and kissed me on my cheek and whispered something in my ear. I don't know if they.
So this guy is saying that Phaedra, is behind the setup. Then he took it back. Now he's blaming Angela. I don't know. All these people are lying. I'm like, where did he come from to come, harass this lady at an event? I don't know who thinks it's cool to be coming for somebody's marriage anyway. To me, that's so tacky. He said he was just being messy and nobody paid. There's so many lies going on that it's hard to tell who's lying and who's not lying. Phaedra. El Cid, I know Phaedra is your girl, but she's definitely capable of doing this. I just feel like it was a mixture of them. I think a lot of people had their hand in it, not just Phaedra. I think Phaedra knew the guy from Athens and knew that he would be down with the mess. I think she knew that much. I don't know that anybody paid him. I feel like he just wanted to be on TV. So whether he got paid or not, I don't know. And then there's some evidence out there that he had been charged or something involving him and the law and underage engagement. I'll put it that way. So when Angela brought that up, that's probably what inspired him to spill. And now he's saying he had nothing to do with it, and now she's suing this man. So do y'all think Phaedra did it? Or I think, like I said, I think Phaedra had a hand in it. I think production had a hand in it. Because I don't feel like anybody can just walk up to, the people in the middle of filming with some nonsense like that. And I feel like I heard him so clearly. I don't know whose mic he was on. Maybe it was her mic. Maybe he was making sure that he got close enough to people. Kelly was mic'd up when he said that cheers. So I feel like Phaedra, definitely this is like the kind of thing she does. But I also feel like it's all messy. And I feel like other people are involved. Y'all, thank you for hanging out with me. I don't know how long we've been here, actually. Probably about an hour. Yeah, I'll be doing this probably a couple times a week, maybe 3, depends on how how not discombobulated I am. I'm glad you had fun, and hopefully not at my expense. Like I said, I am new to this. I am not technically savvy, and I'm not a punk, so I'm not gonna quit. So I will be back to do this some more. I love like getting other people's opinion on these things that come up on my timeline. So yeah, don't let this mess discourage you, because you know the girl will get herself together. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you, El Cid. I'll talk to you probably, you know, in the chat. Bye, y'all. Ooh, we got to get this thing together, child.